Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. It's coming to the end of week 14 of the NHS Path Remission Programme, which means I'm coming to the end of week 2 of the food reintroduction phase. So heading into week 3 next week from Tuesday, which will be fun. Looking forward to that. Start off, so measurement wise, so I dropped from 154.2 down to 151.9. Which was nice, a nice little drop of 2.3 kilos, which means I'm now only 6.7 kilos off my next goal for the 20% original body weight loss. So super stoked for that. I should hope that hit that in the next, let's see, if I'm losing 2.3 safely, like I'd say 3 to 4 weeks, and then that should be off, providing I still kind of keep that level of loss going on. So that'll be quite good. The blood glucose, I think because it's been so hot last week, I think that's kind of messed with the results, because it was before it was like just 5, which was great. We are hitting that like low 5s. Once it kind of hit like high 4s kind of this week, and going forward. When he's just here, she's wanting for attention. But it turns out that when I measured on this Thursday, it shot up to like 5.8. But from what I've learned now after speaking to a few people, is that when it's quite warm weather and if like you're dehydrated and sweating a lot, means you haven't got like much water in your like blood supply, and it kind of like concentrates it, so your blood sugars end up being concentrating during that time. So that's why a reason it could have like shot up. So I'll just have to keep a monitor on that and just make sure in the next like couple of weeks, like next week and the week after, just make sure it kind of hits back down to that 5 level in the low 5s. So something to keep an eye on. And blood pressure has dropped back down because it was originally in like the 130s over like 60s. It's now or 130 over 70s, low 70s. Last week it was 117 over 63. So again, that was really good, really happy with that kind of range. I think the previous times in the weeks that I'd kind of had that measurement is because I was measuring just before work and I was kind of in a rush, even though I would tried waiting to get a resting heart rate. I was still kind of like thinking about, right, okay, I need to get up and get ready and do stuff. So that could have been why that was going on. And last week I was off. So I was much more calm and relaxed. So measurements doing quite well in that regard. I also went over and saw my mum and stepdad again and had other kind of measurements like my neck and chest and all that kind of come through, and I've just hidden the page that all of that was on. So let's see what I updated it to. So yeah, the main ones. So my neck has stayed the same. So last week it had gone down to 19 inches and it is still 19 inches this week. Fair enough, quite happy with that, as long as it's not getting bigger. Chest went down by an inch from 55 down to 54. It's nice. And my waist across the belly button had dropped down from 61 down to 60. So when I first started, it was at 66. So I've lost now a full 6 inches off across around the belly button, which is incredible. I've definitely been feeling it with the clothes lately as well. I can now, because like my old shirts were like 6XLs and now they're like really baggy. I'm able to comfortably wear 5XL shirts like at work, like sitting down, standing up. I think I can just about get away with wearing a 4XL if I'm just standing up and I don't have to sit down, because it's when I sit down and my belly bulges out that what causes kind of most of the issues. Hips as well. I think there may have been a bit of kind of discrepancy because when I usually get my hips measured, I'm wearing like my jean shorts, so there may have been extra material around that. Because last week I measured at 54 inches and now it's dropped down to 50 inches because I was wearing like my sport shorts today. Because I went and did the Race for Life 5K walk, which you would have noticed by the the thumbnail. But because I was wearing like thinner material, I think maybe before I was actually more closer to like say 52 inches real, and then I've like lost a few inches and now I'm measuring 50, which is really good, really happy with that. So again, overall progress wise in kind of like measurements, so like weight and inches and stuff like that, still all heading in the right direction, going down. The only one which was a little bit of an anomaly this time was the blood glucose, but obviously we'll keep an eye on that over the next couple of weeks. Food reintroduction going really well. I'm remaining disciplined. I'm only sticking to those meals and the size of them. I'm not adding anything extra or anything like that. And to be fair, I've not felt any kind of like hungers or cravings or anything during that time either as well, which has been really good. So of course the first 2 weeks ago was the first shake I swapped out. So I swapped out my dinner shake for a small 400 calorie portion of my I'm calling it my chilinaise, like my bolognese chili hybrid. and that's been going quite well. I usually make like 10 portions in a batch from the slow cookers, and I freeze them and just get them out of the freezer every time I go to have one, and just basically swap them out in the system. So that's working quite well. And what I've been able to do with that as well is to kind of add a bit of variety. Is I have a few different types of spices and seasonings that I can add in. I've got like a jerk seasoning, Cajun seasoning, and some sort of like sweet paprika and pepper seasoning as well. And I can add a bit of one of those to the meal, and it completely changes the flavor profile. Like it'll either give it a bit of like heat and a bit of kick. The other one kind of adds like a bit of kind of like sweetness and aromatics to it. And then of course, like if I just want to get to the original kind of like herby, kind of more bolognese kind of variety, I just don't have the seasoning. And again, it still tastes incredible because of all the other seasonings that are already in it, like the garlic and mixed herbs and stock and stuff in there. So that's been really good. Been really enjoying those and looking forward to them. And then obviously last week I swapped out my breakfast shake for my breakfast bowl, which is kind of like the overnight oats things, but instead of using overnight like oats, I'm using Weetabix. So it's like a layer of crushed Weetabix with some skimmed milk, some 0-calorie syrup, 0% fat Greek yogurt, and some blueberries and a bit of protein powder just to increase the protein in it. And then sometimes what I can do is sprinkle a bit of cinnamon over the top, some sweet cinnamon, not just regular cinnamon. Sweet cinnamon makes a huge difference. And again, that's been super tasty, and it's been filling as well. And it's, I can see myself eating that reliably again every morning. Needs to be, and that's kind of one of the things I want to make sure it's like sustainable and consistent, something I can easily do. And similar to the Chilenaise, where I can change the flavors with seasoning, I can change the flavour of this as well, as I'm still using the flavour drops that I had, which I was using to change the flavour of or enhance the flavour of the shakes. I can now use that to enhance the flavour of the yogurt. So like I can add the toffee flavouring to the yogurt, or a lemon flavouring to the yogurt, and kind of change the flavour profile of that meal. So again, adding variety, which means I'm not kind of stuck in the same flavour every day, which is really good. It's actually helping quite a lot. So of course, next week from Tuesday, I'll be changing out a third shake for a meal. So I'm going to be swapping out my lunch shake for what I kind of have in mind at the moment is a like it was originally a tuna and cucumber kind of like salad kind of deal. But I did trial one of those a couple of days ago because I had the ingredients ready, and I thought, oh, I'll give it a go, prep it up, see how easy it is for me to prepare. Will it last, like say if I did it the night before for work, will it last into the next day and still be tasty? So that's what I did. I made it the night before, then ate it, I think, on Friday or yesterday. And it was okay. The flavour wasn't entirely great. One mistake I made is I added in red onion, just raw. And it seems that if you leave that overnight, it kind of like seeps, so it's quite high in, is it phosphorus or sulfur, and becomes quite pungent in its taste, a bit overpowering. And I didn't add a lot, only about like quarter to half an onion in there, and it spread out quite nicely throughout the meal, but it's still a bit too strong. I think one of the things you can do to override it is if you like blanch it in cold water first, or just soak it in cold water like before you prepare it. But to be fair, I'm thinking I might just remove it and swap it out for something else. And also the cucumber as well, because I use some seasoning in there which had a bit of salt, had like a Maggie's seasoning sauce. It drew out a lot of moisture from the cucumber, even though I had already kind of like scraped out the seed, like the most watery part of the cucumber, and diced it up and put it in there. I noticed the next morning a lot of water was kind of sat in the bottom of the bowl, which wasn't too much of an issue. When I remixed it and put it through, it was okay. But yeah, still the texture of it wasn't quite right. So what I'm thinking is I might, because it's got other things in it as well, like some peas and carrots, and of course tuna, and I used like, again, the 0% fat-free Greek yogurt with like a squirt of lighter than light mayonnaise to make the sauce base, and then of course a bit of seasoning with like lemon juice and the Maggi seasoning to kind of give it a bit more of a flavour difference. But what I'm thinking I might do is I might swap out the onion and the cucumber, and like looking around, seeing what other kind of substitutes I do. So I might add in a bit of sweet corn, because I have frozen sweet corn that I can portion out and thaw and put maybe steam and cool off and put in there. And I saw something mentioned about green beans might be a good alternative to cucumber, like on calorie wise. And a lot of people said that it works quite well, and that it keeps its kind of like its texture, and it's not something that's going to release a lot of moisture into it. And again, I have those ingredients already in my freezer. So what I might do is I might add those instead and kind of see how that performs. And then if that works quite well, that will be what I do for lunch. And then I'll obviously post a little recipe online for that as well. So yeah, but overall, like, the food reintroduction is going well. As I say, I'm still losing weight because the deficit is still there, because obviously it's still quite large. And so my basal metabolic rate and the amount of calories we're eating is still quite a big deficit. So the weight loss is still happening, even though I was worried there's going to be a bit of fluctuation in the first process. But yeah, and I think then the week after, when I lose that fourth shake, is when I might just add a bit extra to my current meals. And then maybe possibly just have like a small snack in the afternoon, or maybe like a handful of nuts or something. It'd have to be like 30 grams or something, because there's a lot of fat and calories in just like a small amount of nuts. But it's something I need to decide. It may be a case of like I had to start adding a bit of like potato or pasta to my dinner, the Chilenaise, just to kind of bulk it out with calories to make up for that shake going. But it's something I'll experiment with in the weeks to come and see how kind of where we sit with that. So yeah, food reintroduction's going well. Looking forward to kind of finishing those 6 weeks and then moving into the maintenance period. And it's agreed with my coach in case of like, because at the end of the 6 weeks I'll be sitting at around about 16 to 1800 calories, and my like using the app for kind of like working out what my total daily expenditure is and what my basal metabolic rate is. I think my total expenditure is around about 3,000 or just under 3,000 calories now. And so to put me in a 500 calorie deficit, like it's what the standard is, that would mean that I would be able to consume 2,500 calories. So I'm already kind of like, with the meals I got lead me up to about 1,800 calories. I've still got about 700 calories or something to play with. And so to get up to that level, and my coach was like, yeah, so just increase like by 100 calories a week until you hit what, like the deficit level that you want to, and then kind of go from there. So I'll see how it kind of fits. It may be a case of, yeah, I just add in an extra spoonful or something into like one of those meals, or maybe change from just 0% fat free to maybe 5% fat or something like that. Just increase, like I don't need to increase the volume of those meals. They're actually all quite decent sized meals, but I can increase the calories within them. So maybe kind of like changing back to some of those swaps. But again, something I just need to experiment and work out as I go forward in the next couple of weeks. Milestones. So activity levels, again, have increased. I think I may have mentioned from last week, I've now started swimming now. So I'm now swimming on a Wednesday, and boy, is it taking it out of my shoulders, and it's tiring. Like I managed to do, again, 8 lengths of the 33 meters. And yeah, after the 8th time, I can just feel myself getting really kind of like tired. It takes a lot out of the swimming because I'm dragging all this weight through water, and it's using muscles and joints that I don't really use that much anymore. And my mum made a great suggestion of maybe I should get like a resistance band to help like do training over the shoulders to kind of work those in between sessions and kind of build that back up again. And one of the other things I'm looking to do as well is by the end of the food reintroduction period, when I'm kind of got the calories back up to a good level, is I may look at joining a gym to start doing more strength training and resistance as well, just to kind of like build the muscle, make sure that like I'm not going to lose any muscle, and I'm kind of focusing on just on fat loss, which will be good. Other milestone is today, you may see from the thumbnail, I finished the 5 kilometer race for life today. Just walking, didn't run it or anything like that. Wasn't quite at that level, but it was really good. It was really nice to do. It's definitely something that I probably wouldn't have been able to achieve 3-4 months ago. I would have just killed over after like the first kilometer, or even if I got that far. But with all the activity and all the energy and everything that I've been doing so far, I was able to walk the entire 5 kilometers at a nice steady pace. I'll even pop up like the metrics of what it was on the system. And I had a friend that went around with me at the same time, which really helped, because I was able to kind of like keep up a conversation and chat while going around. I wasn't out of breath. And it took my mind off doing the walk as well. It made it a much better experience for myself as well, which was really, really nice. I was going to say something else as well, but like it's a thought came into my mind and then immediately disappeared. But yeah, it was like, yeah, steady pace, well, not easy, steady pace, able to talk. Yeah, and I kept in, I think it was like zone 2 of my heart rate, which is like the best zone for like weight control. And I think whenever there was a bit of an incline, I kind of moved a bit into zone 3. Which is aerobic, so whatever that means, I'm not quite sure. I haven't kind of worked all that kind of jargon out yet. But yeah, was really happy that I was able to complete that, because it was a case of I wanted to increase the activity. A friend suggested doing the Race for Life walk, and yeah, it worked out quite well. It's like, why, if I can raise my activity levels and also raise a little bit of money for charity, score, win-win. So yeah, it was really good to do that, and it was just a nice walk overall for that. So yeah, can't fault it. I might, so next year maybe I'll do the 10k walk, and then the year after that maybe do the 3k but run it. Who knows? We'll see where we go next with it. So yeah, definitely looking out for more things to do, as well as like increasing the steps that I do on my way to work and back. I think it'll always be a case of I'll like walk into town and then catch a bus from town to work, so I don't end up being overly sweaty when I get there. And then now start just walking all the way back from work to home, which is again a good kind of like 2 and a bit kilometers, which works out quite well. And during lunch now as well, even at work, I've worked out a nice little 15-ish kind of 15-minute route that I can do. 15, so can I get that in the day? So I'm building up steps wherever I can. And if there's ever a point where I can't do a walk, I've still got the exercise bike, which I kind of hop on and do about 30 minutes on, just to kind of make sure that I'm at least doing 30 minutes of just purely exercise a day, which is kind of one of my main goals. So yeah, I think I've got the routine down in that regard. I'm still going to try and make a video just solely on the base of like reviewing, well, not reviewing, but like hints and tricks that helped me get through the 12-week total diet replacement phase. I did plan to make that my week off, but it was so hot. Like, I couldn't sit in this office. Like, I haven't got fans or anything now because it's now cool enough. But during, like, say, the whole week, I've had fans on, and I couldn't make I was just sweating profusely. So it wasn't going to look good for a video. And also, I was trying to work out a script and how to record it, because I wanted to make it into a not just like we have now, where it's just me rambling for 20 odd minutes. If I wanted to do something a bit more structured, and I need to work out a proper script for that. At the moment, all I have is notes of like key points of like mention weight, mention Race for Life, mention food reintroduction, that sort of stuff. Don't have anything like overly written down for that. So yeah, I had a comment recently talking about when I do my calorie tracking and stuff, for using like what app am I using. So what I'll do is I will talk about the app that I use, which is called it's either Chronometer or Chronometer. Not quite sure which is the way that you would pronounce it. But what I'll do is I'll just pop up a video here, and basically what will happen is it will be a screen recording of the app. So I'll open it up and I'll show the like diary side of it. At the top, it will show like what you're consuming, what your expenditure is, how many calories you got left, the breakdown of the nutrients of like protein, macros, and carbs. And then when you go into the diary section at the bottom, you just click on the plus on whether it's a breakfast, snack, breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snack. And then you can choose from a meal that you've used before, or something like you can create a recipe, and that puts it in there as well. You just hit plus and just adds it to it, and then it'll update that bar at the top, and so this is how many calories you've had, and this is your expenditure. And then you have like a dashboard as well. What can you kind of show like different charts of like your weight loss, your weight goal, and when you're perceived to reach that goal on a deficit of your choosing. And again, like your weekly totals of how many like calories you've consumed, and what levels again of like protein, fats, and carbs that you've done as well. So yeah, I'll pop in here maybe, just like a little screen recording of that. And all of that I show is what I've been using on the like. Oh, sorry, I got a bit gas there. Is what I've been using the free side for. I haven't paid. There is a paid features in there, but I think it's more for like in-depth, more charts and things that you can maybe customize. But at the moment, the free version that I'm using is more than enough. It allows me, I don't think I'll show it on there, but when you go into create your own meals, or when you go to add something to the diary, you can, when you hit the plus button, there is like a little barcode icon in the top corner, which you can press to like take a picture of the barcode and then type in like how much of it you're eating, which helps, and that's all included in the free part of it. Whereas I know before, people in the past had recommended to me MyFitnessPal, which used to have the barcode feature for free for UK users, to the point of where even US users would VPN themselves into the UK, download it, and make an account to then have that barcode scanning bit for free. But unfortunately, now new users on MyFitnessPal don't get access to the barcode scanning feature, which is unfortunate. But Chronometer does have that feature, and that's what I'm using, and it fits everything that I need for that. So yeah, it works really well. So that's me going in a bit more depth about it, because someone in a previous video did ask about that app. So hopefully me popping that up there can show what it looks like and how it works. And I say it's very intuitive, and yeah, it suits everything that I need so far. It's quite easy to add in recipes and show how much it is you're using on there. So if you're looking for a new calorie tracking app and you're not quite happy with yours, and give that one a go. It's free. You're not going to lose out on anything by using it, unless you immediately start paying for features, but I wouldn't recommend that. I'd say get used to it first and see if you need the extra features that are under the pay bit. And to be fair, I don't think it's that expensive as well. I think it's a tiny bit more expensive than no, actually, I don't know if it is more expensive than MyFitnessPal. You'd have to do a bit of research. Don't take my word for it. But there are offers that they come out with, like 30% off when you go to sign up. So yeah, and I think that's pretty much it from me this week. Overall, again, everything moving in the right direction. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for your support and watching these videos and interacting and commenting. It means a lot to me, especially when I see people leave comments saying like, oh, I'm just starting on the NHS Path Remission Programme, and seeing how you've gotten through is like making me confident I'm going to succeed. That really warms my heart when I see that, because that's really what I do with these videos. Is one, it's making me accountable to follow the program myself, and because I don't want to let you guys down. But if it's also helping other people kind of see what's going to be like, and if they see something in here, they think, oh, okay, well, he does this and he does that, that might make it easier for me, and they kind of, it inspires them to do something, make it easier for themselves. That's all I'd ever want, is to help people succeed at something like this, because the benefits from completing this program and getting to the other end of it far outweigh the difficulties and struggles that you may experience along the way. I'd say I'm living proof of that. Before, I was I didn't move, eating crap, I weighed a ton. Now I've got energy up the wazoo. I'm sleeping really well. My mood is greatly improved compared to what it was. And yeah, clothes are fitting better and stuff like that. I'm just overall happier. So it's all about the mindset of it, getting into it full bore, doing the research and going through it. And I say, if you have any other questions or anything you want to raise in the comments, just pop them in there. And in the next video, I'll either try to reply to them in the comment again, or I'll say in the next video, I'll answer them. So yeah, all in all, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video, the short on Thursday, when I do my next weigh-in. And at some point between now and then, or at least sometime try next week, I'll try and make a video just for the total diet replacement phase, kind of like hints and tricks of how to make things easier for yourself. But until then, take care of yourselves. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.